Hello, hello. Happy Wednesday to everybody. I hope you're doing well. Shauna Marie Fisher here, obviously, because you know you're on my page, and I'm going to see who's here. I'm going to see if I can pull up my Facebook. Is not letting me pull up to see who's here, but I have a very special guest with me today. I have my very dear friend. There you go. Now it's letting me pull it up, so I want to see who's here. My dear friend Carol CC Miller, who has this amazing. Hello, Carol. She has this amazing community that she just it's launching today, and it's so cool, and it's going to be just full of magic. I will let her tell you what she does, because she does so many amazing things. So I'll let her give a rundown of what she does, and then we'll talk about her new amazing community. Take it away, Carol.
Certainly. It might be easier to say what I don't do because I'm involved in a lot of different things. But what I say is I'm a positive life strategist, peace activator, and global hugger. And I have been doing this work since, oh goodness, probably 15 years. But it's been more in the last several years that I've been doing individual one-on-one coaching, probably for 10 years. And I have done group coaching in the past, but I haven't for several years. And I created this community called Magic Makers Community that's just starting. So it's going to be a small community at the beginning, but it will continue to grow. And the reason I wanted to do it is I love supporting people in either moving out of a struggle, a health challenge, or actualizing their dreams. I like meeting people where they're at. And I've coached people from starting new businesses to just wanting to be a little bit more positive in their lives. Because at the end of the day, for me, when there's something that's not working in our life or we're not able to achieve, and that includes me, it's because there's something inside often that we're not even aware of, but there's an unworthiness in us that doesn't believe we deserve to have that home, that job, that relationship, that travel experience, that income in our bank. And so we work on things like that. So I do that individually with my coaching clients, but it's nice to be able to bring a group together and to support each other. So it's going to be a Facebook group, and then there's going to be excuse me, 2 sessions a month, could be more because there's magical surprises that I'm not sharing or they would not be a surprise. But there'll be 2 different Zoom calls a month that you can join me in person, well, virtually in person, and ask questions, and we'll talk about the normal word people use is goals. I'm not a big fan of that word. So I use, what do you want to experience this week? What do you want to experience this month? What do you want to experience in your lifetime? And then we work from there. And then the second one is called dream activation. And it's and Shauna, you have participated in this, and it's where the people in the group and the fun thing about dream activation is you don't even have to have one to feel the energy of it. But you come to this group, and really to have it be, it can be just 2 people. It's helpful if it's 3 to 4 plus people. You would tell the group in this call maybe 5 things about the dream that you want to bring to fruition. And so I'll give an example right now. I have an event coming up in May called Global Hugs Weekend. So I would come to this group and I would say, I would like to see 3 new countries who have never joined before. And I would like to see specific states that have never joined before. Or I would like 1 more famous person who's going to help spread the message or join. So I would also share how I want to feel in that experience. How do I want that weekend to look and feel for me? And then the others in the group talk about it while I sit back and listen. And so it puts you in the energy of actually experiencing it right there in front of you. The only time you speak up, and it happens on occasion, not that often, is if, like, let's say we're doing this global hug thing and Shauna's like, yeah, such and such is joining you, which either A, I don't want to join me, or B, when she mentions that person's name, fear joins me instead. Like, I can't reach out to that person. So if it's bringing up more fear, or I don't want that, then I would step in and say, you know what? I decided that person, I wasn't going to go talk to, or whatever. So you don't do it in why did you bring that up? You kind of shift it back into what you want it to be. So those are the two main big coaching things. But then within the Facebook group will be daily. I'm not going to post something daily, but you will daily be able to ask me questions, and I'll have prompts in there to keep you focused on what you want rather than what you don't want. And
Ooh,
go ahead.
I love all that. And hey, Emmy, I love all that so much. That's so cool. And I love Emmy said in here that Facebook support groups are so helpful. And it's kind would you consider it kind of like it is a group of support? Would you consider it for people that have a business and even people that don't have a business, right? This could be beneficial for anybody.
Oh, absolutely. Like some of my my clients, one definitely, like some have businesses and some are just like some of them are working for somebody and either they are ready to move somewhere else or change jobs, or they just want some more peace in their life. Life is busy and life is beautiful and life is messy. They say studies show that we have anywhere between 12,000 and 70,000 thoughts a day. And 80% of those thoughts are negative because our brain is kind of trained to look for what's wrong to protect ourselves. Like if you see a car coming, like that's bad, like move out of the way. So most people are just ingrained to look at what's not working in their life rather than what is working, and to be gentle with the what's not working. I know, and I suspect this is true for you too, Shauna. If I do something well, I'm like, good job, Carol. And then I'm on to the next thing. If I do something not so well, I think about it. I might put it away for a little bit and then I think about it again. And so we spend a lot of time focusing on our don't wants. And a lot of it's unintentionally. It's just thoughts that we have that come up. So that's one of my biggest things I would say that I do in my coaching is reframing the thoughts that we have. And I also remind people that it's not about being 100% positive or loving or kind or compassionate. I don't know anyone who is. And I've been doing this work for years, and I am not 100% loving, kind, compassionate, and peaceful. I am that the majority of the time because I've made daily practices to be that, because those are my values. So that's another thing we'll work on, is determining your individual values and holding you to those. So when you know what you value in life, that helps you make decisions, even if it's a hard decision to make. If it's not aligned to your values, it might have that, that shiny object that we all want to look at. But when you know your values, it's like, nope, that's taking me away from what I truly want. It looks exciting. It might be a distraction, but I know what it is I want. And I know that what I value, and that's going to take me away from it. So we really work on things like that too.
I love that, to stay in alignment, and to help you maybe realize, like in areas maybe where you're not being in alignment, to kind of help to shift that focus to bring back the positive. That's huge. And the dream activation. So I've been in Carol's dream activations before, and it's so powerful. So even as you're in the midst of working with somebody else's dream, just feeling that collective energy and that like excitement that you're sharing with them helps it amplify with your dream too, because it's that like excitement of those possibilities that are coming up, and it's so powerful. I know when I did yours, so much came from it, and it helped to shift my focus and like get that little extra like motivation and just that piece of that. And it was beautiful. So
and it really is. It's about that collective energy too. So that particular experience, you really do feel it, but it's within all of it. And the group, the intention is to be supportive of each other. I am certainly, excuse me, I'm going to be monitoring the group. There's some places you go that aren't monitored, and so some not so nice comments can show up. I don't think that that's going to be in this group anyway, but it certainly won't be allowed in the group. It'll be a supportive thing. And that's something I would like to share with people too, is I think you mentioned, Emmy, I can't see who's here. So, but if you have a dream that you're really excited about, and maybe it's a big dream and you're excited, yet you're still nervous, like, how can I do this? Am I the right person to do this? I really encourage you to pay attention to who you share it with. And the analogy I heard years ago, I wish I could give the person's name. I don't remember who I heard it from, nor do I believe it was their thing. I think they were sharing it too. Was we all have dolphin friends and shark friends in our lives. Both dolphins and sharks love us. They're in our lives and they love us. But dolphins, when there is an excuse me, when there's an injury, the dolphins will surround the injured party to protect them and to keep them safe. When there's blood in the water and a fear-based kind of thing going on with sharks, they attack. Now, our shark friends, not always, but often are maybe parents or our family members. And they are trying to protect us by stopping us from going after a goal that they deem too big, not possible or whatever, because they want to protect you from getting hurt. It comes off as very, very critical, and it comes off with, they don't know me and how dare they not think I can do it. But that is their way of protecting you. Where your dolphin friends, they may ask you questions about it, but they see the highest vision for you and they're excited for you and they help you stay in that space of confidence. As you grow your confidence towards whatever you're wanting to do, then the naysayers, the sharks, it's not going to impact you. Like when I first started Positive Focus, it was a different vision when I first started it. But I was like, yeah, I'm doing this thing called Positive Focus because there's so much negativity. And there's also so many people who believe positivity is rainbows and unicorns and not living in reality. And that's not what I see it being positive. What I see in being positive is to celebrate the things that are going well and to be gentle and compassionate to ourselves and the world for the things that are challenging. Again, that's why I call this world beautiful and messy, because it has both. And we get to decide which one we're going to give the most attention to. So my scale 0 to 100, 0 always negative, 100 always positive. 51% is the majority. So you don't have to be 80, 90, 70, 60 or 20, 30. And if you're at 30, that's okay too. That's just where you're at. And now because you're aware of where you're at, you can take steps forward to move into the 50, the 51%.
I love that. And I mean, right? Yeah, I love that. And Emmy, I put her comment up here. It says, my dream was to own a horse, but I think I may not be physically capable. Love the dolphin and shark analogy.
Emmy, that's a great dream, first of all. And I don't know of the physical capabilities you're talking about. But I suspect if it was a true, like, this is what's going to be the thing that makes me the happiest in the world, I'm sure you can find some research on different ways to, and maybe it's even volunteering at a stable and being around horses to make sure. I remember, I think I was in 2nd grade and I wanted a horse so bad. And my mom made me read about it. And then she had me volunteer at a stable. Like I was taking horseback riding lessons. And I quickly realized by working at the stable and cleaning out the stables, I wanted to play with horses. I did not want to own a horse. I did not want that responsibility. So without her telling me no, she showed me it was a no. But if it's something that's really passionate for you, I would really encourage you to look at ways that you can fulfill that dream, whether it's owning a horse, whether it's taking lessons to ride. Shauna, you could actually speak about the equestrian healing. Like, again, I mean, I don't know what you're talking about for physicalness, but there's so much healing energy working with horses too.
Oh, yes, there is. And I love this. Emmy says that dream was in my life. And she does currently volunteer with horses and rescues. And she does energy work and all of the different magical things with horses. So that's cool. And there is, like, horses are so healing. There's actually, oh man, there's like, what do they call that? Gestalt therapy with horses, where people do that. I mean, there's so many different things. So I love that different spin, because it's like sometimes there's maybe a possibility that we're not seeing, right? That's like maybe a different part of the possibility. So it sounds like in this Magic Makers community, there'll be people to help actualize things and realize and really dig deep into maybe desires they didn't know they had.
Yeah. And just like what Emmy had said, as far as what she is doing, when I started Positive Focus, my intention, I started back in 2007. It became a nonprofit in 2009. But when I first started, it was going to be a physical building in Chicago offering businesses and different things that were all focused on a positive aspect. Well, that did not come to fruition, but the feeling of why I wanted Positive Focus. So that's something else to think about, Emmy, is why is that important to you? Because when you know the why behind it, when you have those setbacks or the challenges, or I mean, often our setbacks are in our own heads telling us we can't do it, is you'll go back to your why. So my why is I fully believe that when people feel seen and heard, they're less likely to harm themselves and others. So all the work that I do at the end of the day is to help people feel seen and heard in whatever it is. Positive Focus is not a physical building. I run it out of my home. I have a big international audience because of the Global Hugs movement. And I'm able to reach far more people this way than had I had a physical building in Chicago. So be open to it showing up in magical ways. One of the things that I like to say when I am intending and planning on anything is this or something greater, because I could only envision what I've experienced or what my imagination can experience. And the universe, there's so many more possibilities out there that I can't even see. So I like to say this or something greater.
Ooh, I love that. This or something greater. I love that. And I love that whole dark and dark and I mean, oh my gosh, shark and dolphin analogy. I'm like, oh my goodness, let me speak. Oh my goodness. I was trying to combine the two, but the
Well,
dolphin and
and
shark
it's so
analogy.
true because so many people, I mean, the people in your life who love you, some are going to be afraid that they're afraid to do it themselves, or they're afraid that you're going to fail and they don't want you to be hurt with the failure. And so they're going to stop you to think they're protecting you by stopping you from doing something. Like, especially think about people who are in the creative arts. Like, nope, go to school, get your business degree, become a lawyer, doctor, or whatever. But if their heart is for acting or being a musician or artist or whatever, they need to follow that. Do they possibly need to do something else while they're growing that? Certainly. Not everybody's going to be, an Oscar winning award person, but it's certainly there for you to go for.
It totally is. And Emmy loved that feedback because she says, I will look into knowing the why of want a horse. Thank you. Yeah, I love that because I think sometimes we forget to look at that why, right?
Well, I've many times wanted to stop doing Positive Focus or the hugs. I spent a lot of time inviting people to that event, and then I go back to this. It's not moving fast enough. Or patience is not my strength, Shauna. I will say
Me
that.
neither.
Magic makers, we will work on patience together, but that is certainly not my strength. So do not come to coaching for me with patience. I shouldn't say that. I'm pretty good at coaching other people on patience, not necessarily for myself. But it really is about going back to when I'm ready to quit because it's not moving as fast as I want it to. I go back to my why, and I go back to the experiences of the people that I have hugged, the experiences of the global huggers who have told me their experiences. And I remember the importance of what it is I'm doing. So, Emmy, really remember that importance of the connection for you with horses, and that why of owning a horse or the healing or whatever. It could change and shift into ways that you don't even know, but keep that why, that feeling of what feels good about your relationship with horses.
Yeah. Well, and two, when we embrace that feeling, I know I've found for myself, when we truly are embracing that feeling and like really
Yeah.
being with that, that's when it really helps us to really be in a bigger part of it, right? When we just
Yeah.
really
Well, and thank you for saying the word embrace, because that's what I call my coaching, Embrace Your Life, because it's really pretty easy to embrace our lives when things are going the way we want and we're excited and joyful and happy. But it's about embracing the scared little girl or boy or there in you that is still wants to be heard. It's not about it being wrong or bad. Fear is not a foe. It can be our friend, and it can be an alert. Like for me, when I think, and certainly fear visits me, like I said, I'm not 100% anything, but when fear visits me, I ask myself, is this true fear saying don't do that? And sometimes it is. Or is it fear that I'm uncomfortable doing it, but I should try it? And that was what it was like for me when I did free hugs. I was terrified of doing it, but I knew after watching the original video of it that it was something I wanted to try. So it wasn't fear saying this is not right for you. It was fear saying, this is way out of your comfort zone, but give it a try anyway. And the more you listen to your thoughts and feelings about it and how you feel about things, the more you're going to be able to discern if it's a fear telling you no, or if it's a fear saying, give it a try.
I love that. I love that. It's so, oh my gosh, so impactful. And then also too, so you're just, I don't know why this thought just came to me, but so in that Magic Makers community, you have that dream activation and then the coaching. Now during that coaching, I'm sure too, will there be like tips and kind of techniques to help kind of people to be more in alignment with themselves?
Yeah, absolutely. So what it's going to be when you sign up, actually on the sign up page, there is a survey that's asking you for like 3 things that you're working on right now. And I will encourage you throughout the entire process, whether you're with me for 30 days or 3 years or whatever, to have a list of your bucket list. And the bucket list will be from the smallest thing you want to accomplish to the biggest thing that you can't imagine ever happening. But you have a list of things to look for. So we'll be working on that list, whatever you determine. And so you'll come to the group coaching, and I usually start my coaching sessions, not all of them, but I tend to ask people at the very beginning, give me 3 things you're grateful for or 3 things you're celebrating. And then I say, okay, what are we here to talk about today? And so we can talk about what is a challenge for them. I mean, it's basically their time to get my support and anybody who is in that call's support on staying focused. We have these dreams, and I know I do it as well. I dream and I plan and I get excited, and then guess what? Life comes at, and I've got meetings and I've got family commitments and I have this and that and my volunteer work that I do. And I don't give as much attention to my dreams as I give attention to other people's dreams. So it really is to help you stay focused. Shauna knows me, so it's a little different, but I'm not a fan of the words always or never, but I cannot imagine ever chastising anyone within the community for not doing something. If you have, like on Monday, my plan is to set out, let's talk about our intentions for this week. So you might write down one intention for the week, and it might just be, right now I have a cold. My intention is to heal. My intention is to send 3 emails. It could be whatever. It's totally what you want for you. And then on Friday, we'll check in and see how it's going, kind of thing. But it's really to keep you focused on what you want in your life. And one of the big questions I ask myself pretty much daily, sometimes a couple of times a day, is who do I want to be and how do I want to show up? So when I get frustrated or when I'm angry or when I'm sad, all emotions that are totally normal and healthy when they don't take over us. But when I get in that space, I ask myself, okay, Carol, who do you want to be and how do you want to show up? I do not want to show up as an angry person. I do not want to show up as a person who does not believe in myself. So it puts me back into the track of who I want to be. So that's the kind of support that you'll be getting in the group. Reminders of who you want to be, encouragements to keep moving forward. And also, I think it's important to know when you have dreams, and again, patience isn't my strength, but they do shift and evolve. So my desire to help people has stayed steadfast. That is who I'm fully confident. That is why I'm here, is to help people feel seen and heard. But it has shifted in how I do it, from global hugs to coaching to doing different, like my volunteer work with Cook County Sheriff's Office. It comes in many different packages. So when you're open to the why you're doing it, it can show up in a variety of ways. And maybe one way all of a sudden, probably not all of a sudden, there's probably signs to it, stops working for you. And that is okay. You can say, no, this isn't my dream anymore, or the dream just shifts and evolves into something else. I'm not a believer that quitting is wrong if you're quitting for the right reasons.
Ooh, I love that. I love that. Oh my goodness. And then so I love that you said that people could be in there for 3 months or 3 years. So it sounds like people could, it starts and launches today, but people could sign up at any time, right?
Yeah, it's a monthly membership, and it's normally going to be $25 a month, but I'm offering a spring sale, and part of it is this is new. So even though you'll get my long time coaching, right now it's not a big member, it's not a big community. So it'll be $15 this spring, and that price will stay $15 for you if you stay for 90 days, if you stay for 3 years, 5 years, or whatever. So you will not be bumped up to the $25 rate if you book in now at the $15 rate.
So $15 a month for
Yeah.
your, wow. So so with the $15 a month, there's what is it all that's included in the membership?
So it's the 2 coaching sessions by Zoom, but it's weekly ability to ask me questions within the Facebook community. You can email me the questions too, but what I will probably do is come back into the community to respond. And if it's something personal, like you can just say, don't share my name. And I could just say, a client of mine has this or whatever, and then give my tools on what I would do to move forward through that. And it will be some other surprises. Like I know I'll be doing some Facebook Lives in there where you can ask me questions too. There's discount options on one-on-one coaching if that is something that you want. And for any products that I have coming up and out, they would be discounted as well for the community.
Cool. So, and you get is the dream activation it part of the the community?
Yeah, I'm only going to be doing it within the community now. I'm not doing it separately because I think it's helpful. It doesn't have to be, but it is helpful when it's people on the call who have a little knowledge of each other.
Yeah.
So that way you can really go a little deeper kind of thing. So that's why I wanted to do it in a community environment. Of course, the first couple might seem a little odd as we grow into it, but it really is. I love Dream Activation. It's probably my favorite event to do as far as coaching wise.
Yeah, me too. I love your dream activation. So the Facebook group, I mean, that oh my gosh, that is just I can't even tell you, that is such an amazing offering for people to really help people to connect deeper as I kind of put my hands on my heart here. I love that. And Emmy is asking if you know the times of the Zoom sessions. That's a great question, Emmy.
That's a great question, Emmy. And I'm not sure where you're from. My plan is, and I will probably check as far as when more people join too, and give a few different options so it benefits the most people. So it will be a Zoom call, but it will also be live in the Facebook group. So even if you're not able to attend, then you'll be able to watch the recording of it. And what I'm also going to do before, not before the Dream Activation, because that one is very, very interactive, but before the regular group coaching call, I will put in the group, ask me questions. So I already have some questions to answer right there as well. But my plans is it will probably be the second and fourth weeks of the month. The second one will be the coaching session, and the last week of the month will be the Dream Activation. And I would encourage people for that to think about the dreams. I shouldn't say that. Bring whatever dream you want, but I was thinking for what you want to experience the next month that we can work on from there. But my plan is probably Wednesday evenings, and I am Central Time. So I'm not sure where you're at. But again, once there's, more people in the group, I will add a couple of different times and see what the majority, and maybe I'll switch it around where one of the meetings is at a certain time and another meeting is at a different time to give more options. It's a community decision kind of thing. Obviously, my schedule needs to be clear to be able to do it. But outside of that, I want to make sure as many of the community members can join in.
I love that. Well, I love that so much. And then she's in New Mexico, Emmy is. So it'll be streamed on Zoom and on Facebook Live. So people can hop
Right.
on Zoom, or if they're like, oh, I just want to listen to Facebook Live, they can do it that way for the group coaching. But the dream activation, you really want to be like in the
Yeah,
Zoom.
I will still put it on the Facebook Live just because you can be in the energy of it. But if it's still more impactful if you're actually in the Zoom call itself. So
Cool. I love that. Oh my gosh. And that's so exciting. So there is, I can put the link in, or you can put the link in afterwards. There is this beautiful link that Carol created, and it's become a magic maker, right? The
yeah.
Magic Makers community. I love that.
Well, and I did want to say something about that because again, the magic isn't about hexes and potions. It's not about rainbows and unicorns. I would love it if life was all about rainbows and unicorns 24/7, but it is about finding the magic in our lives and creating more of it to live our best life. Your best life when you're sick might be 30%, but you're still giving 30% that day. Your best life when things are rocking and going great. Again, I'm not a 100% person. You might be at 90% or 95%. And that's great too. But it's you're giving your best with what you have in that moment. I think a lot of times when we talk about living your best life, we think about it being everything's perfect. And again, I don't know that anyone has a life that is perfect. Some people have lives that are closer, or they make you think that they have a perfect life. But it's a spectrum, and we're going to experience all of those feelings. It's what ones do we want to give time, energy, and attention to? I'm a
Yes.
believer in what I focus on, I give the energy to grow. So when I'm focusing on not being good enough, when I'm focusing on people not signing up for global hugs or whatever, I'm giving that energy to grow. Doesn't mean it stops things. It just means what I'm feeding. I want to feed love, kindness, compassion, peace in the world and in my life, and positivity. So with awareness, you are in the driver's seat. When you're on autopilot, life is living you. So I hope to help people stay aware of where they're at, where they want to be, and have some fun along the way.
I love that. Like, so impactful and so amazing. And I feel like too, when we come together in community, it's when we're there to support each other and lift each other
Yeah.
up, and just it's so powerful and impactful too. So it's like the more people you can help too. And I'm sure maybe that might have been an inspiration for you to create this community too, so you can
It
help
is
more
it
people.
is absolutely the reason I created it, and also the reason I wanted it to be affordable. Because the more people who feel love within themselves, and it's a daily practice. It's not like you're going to come day one and all of a sudden think your life is rosy and perfect and amazing. But it is about catching yourself when you're focused on what you don't want, not beating yourself up over it, but catching yourself asking, do I sometimes by awareness, I'm like, nope, I need to be angry right now. And that's okay too. But I'm aware of my anger. So then I'm making the decision to stay in that. I'm not spewing it, hopefully, but I'm aware that that's where I need to be and I can move forward from there. A lot of times, just my awareness is like that. I'm like, oh, that doesn't feel good. And I move right into feeling better. But it's really kind of needs to meet you where you're at. So those negative emotions are not, I almost don't even like calling them negative because they're really not bad. They're just, what do you want to feed? What do you want to give most of your attention to?
Right. Well, and it's helping too to light the way of, it's almost like it's that pilot light of, like, maybe you weren't aware of that. So it's like,
Yeah.
being a part of the community like this could bring awarenesses and help you to kind of work through those, and have that support and that community, right? Which is
Yeah.
huge. Yeah.
And it really is. It's just about, seeing the worthiness within you, having other people see it. I mean, obviously, feeling that within is the most important, but having appreciation from external is a powerful tool too. When you have to have the external appreciation is when we get into challenges of our own worthiness because we need it from outside. But when we fill it up from the inside, the outside just is icing on the cake, so to speak. Other people enhance or detract from my life. I am the one who makes it.
I love that. Oh my gosh, so powerful. So I can't. I'm excited to be part of the group. I think it's amazing. It's just an amazing opportunity to have extra support, and I feel like that's it's so important to have that. So I'm excited that you put this offering out here because I
Thank you. I'm excited too. And just so people know, it's also like it's for spring, it's $15 a month, but you can sign out too. So you would stop the reoccurring monthly payment and leave the community. And no foul, no hard feelings at all. If it's not something that fits what you need, that's totally understandable. But it's not like you're committing to always being part of it. Now, once the $25 start, same thing, you can still cancel that. But the $25, what I'm offering for that is don't make me do math. I think it's 250. You can pay for a year and you would get 2 months for free if you pay for the full year rather than the $25 a month type thing.
Oh, nice. That's
But
cool.
yeah, so for right now it's $15 and then it'll go to the $25 and then you can get 2 months for free if you pay annually.
Nice. And then when does that $15 special spring price like stop, if that makes sense?
I don't know for
Okay.
sure. My plan is till spring is over. I mean,
Okay.
actually, we're not even in spring. So at least through April, but probably through May as well.
That's okay. Awesome. Perfect. I love it. Well, we'll make sure too to put the link in here too so people can see Carol made a beautiful page that gives like detailed information about the community.
Well, and you can go to my website, Carol C.C. Miller, and under services, I think I call it services. It's pretty bad if I don't know my own website name, but Magic Makers is under there too. So you can find it that way. But yes, I will share the link later.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then also too, just a side note, Carol does, if you like that term magic maker and you want to like amplify that more in your life, in like wearing a shirt, she has a magic maker shirt too. So you can just, wear that around and just like to help give yourself a little affirmation that you are a magic maker, right?
Yeah, they're intention tees. And also, one last thing is because I do think building the community and having your own friends involved. So if you invite friends and they stay for 90 days, then I give you their first month payment after if they stick around for 90 days. So it's a refer a friend kind of thing. Because I think the more that we have our own people in our lives that are helping to support within the bigger collective, it's helpful too.
Yes, I agree. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to share about this with people because I just feel it's so important and beneficial. So thank you everyone for tuning in. For
Yes,
those of you
thanks
that
everyone. Emmy, good luck. I
yes,
want to hear about the horses.
yes, right, exactly. Yes, 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 yes to all of that. So thank you for all of you that listened live and that listened to the replay. And thank you, Carol, for joining me and talking about this community because I feel like it's so important that people need that extra support. And I feel like
Yeah,
it's nice
just
for them to know it's available. So,
just the
yeah.
reminders that they matter in this world.
Yes, exactly. I love that. So remember, I'm going to close with that. Remember that you matter in the world. I'm going to steal Carol's quote that she always says because it's true. You do matter. So remember that. And if you're interested in more information about that, we'll make sure the link is in there. And I hope you all have a beautiful Wednesday. And thank you so much. And bye for now. Thanks again, Carol.
Thank you. Have a magical day.
Bye.